Very good morning, dear students. Hope you are safe and sound. Dear students, today I am going to restart the chapter Nationalism in India. There are three very important questions that I am going to describe today. Dear students, first question is, how did participants see the civil disobedience movement? So dear students, these are five very important points. So first point is Pattidars and Jats. So students, people from different backgrounds and walk of life participated in civil disobedience movement. They all had their peculiar agenda. They all had their peculiar interest to achieve through civil disobedience movement. If I say that civil disobedience movement had different goals to different sections of Indian society, I won't be wrong. So let's analyze it. First point is Pattidars and Jats. So Pattidars of Gujarat and Jats of Uttar Pradesh participated in civil disobedience movement because they wanted reduction in land revenue, as they were producers of cash crops, and due to great economic depression, prices of their cash crops had fallen too much. So they were not capable to pay land revenue, therefore they participated in civil disobedience movement. Next point is poor peasantry. So dear students, poor farmers of India who used to work as laborer on the farm land of landlords also participated in civil disobedience movement for different purpose. They wanted the unpaid rent to be forgiven and to be remitted by landlords because they could not feed their families 2 square meals a day. So it was very hard for them to pay amount of rent. Next point is business classes. So Indian business classes also participated in civil disobedience movement for their own interest. They wanted to ban import of foreign goods and they wanted to secure their Indian markets. They also wanted to make changes in the business policy of British government. For this purpose, they had also established Industrial and Commercial Congress in 1920 and Federation of the Indian Chambers of Commerce and Industries in 1927. So prominent leaders like Purushottam, Thakurdas and G.D. Birla also played very important role. Next point is working classes. So industrial working classes had their own agenda, had their own interest. They wanted good salaries and short working hours, but Congress was reluctant to include workers' demands because it did not want to lose support of industrialists. So workers lost their confidence in civil disobedience movement and became aloof from this movement. Next point is participation of women. So women participated in this movement for their own agenda. They wanted social equality, they wanted justice, but they became disappointed when Gandhiji told that duty of women was only to look after home and to be good mothers and to be good wives. So these are five very important points. I am going to explain question number 2. Write 3 limits of the civil disobedience movement. So dear students, civil disobedience movement did not attract all sections of Indian society on equal footing. Congress party had ignored Dalit community for long because Gandhiji did not want to offend high caste Hindus. Therefore, Dalit participation was very limited in civil disobedience movement. So limited participation of Dalit in civil disobedience movement was also one of the reason behind failure of civil disobedience movement. So first point is limited participation of Dalits. Second point is lukewarm response of Muslims. You know that how Muslims gave their unconditional support to Gandhiji after his involvement in Khilafat non-cooperation movement, but things changed when Congress party openly associated itself with Hindu religion nationalist group Hindu Mahasabha. After that, secular image of Congress party got damaged. That led to disassociation of Muslims from Congress-led civil disobedience movement. Next is distance between Congress and Muslim League. So students, as a result, Muslims withdrew their support from Congress and extended its support to the Muslim League. During civil disobedience movement, an atmosphere of suspicion and distrust between Hindus and Muslims appeared. Many Muslim leaders expressed their concerns and fears of being in minority in India after independence. Thus, Muslims lost their passion and zeal during civil disobedience movement. And now I am going to discuss question number 3. List 3 ways in which idea of nationalism was brought among Indians. So these are 3 very important points. So first point is use of female allegory Bharat Mata. So students, nationalism refers to a political philosophy, that considers people living in one particular geographical area or country as one entity and part of the same nation. So this sense of collective identity comes through united struggles and shared experience. Khilafat movement, non-cooperation movement, civil disobedience movement, Rowlatt Satyagraha, Champaran Satyagraha, Ahmedabad Satyagraha, Kheda Satyagraha. So these are few examples where Hindus, Muslims, Sikhs, Christians, Dalits and tribals all fought together against British government. These movements educated Indians. Our artists used more comprehensive ways to create sense of collectiveness through their arts. For this purpose, Abanindranath Tagore imagined India as a goddess and then converted his imagination in the form of painting Bharat Mata. So he portrayed Bharat Mata as divine and spiritual. Okay, Abanindranath only wanted to create feeling that India was like a goddess and it was responsibility of all Indians to protect her dignity and respect. Second point is revival of Indian folklore. So students, majority of Indians were living in villages during independence movement. They were very close to folk songs and folk dances. So our leaders started to visit villages and they recorded folk songs. It made villagers very happy and it also helped them to understand importance of their culture and life in Indian society. Thus, recording folk songs also spread sense of dignity, sense of respect, sense of nationalist feeling among Indian people living in villages or in countryside at that time. Next point is adoption of tricolor flag. So flag also plays very important role to unite people of any country. In the same way, flag was also adopted in India to create nationalist feeling among Indians. Colors like red, yellow and green were used as symbols to recognize diversity of caste, diversity of religion, diversity of languages in India. India is a very diverse country. And 8 lotus were also used to represent people of 8 British states or 8 British provinces. And a crescent moon was also used to represent Hindu-Muslim unity, because the flag that was adopted during Swaraj movement, so that flag had tricolor, and that flag also had 8 lotus and 1 crescent moon. Therefore, these all symbols had different meaning. So I hope that you understood all the points very well. So thank you. Bye for now. Khuda Hafiz.